the Hood, champion boxing and sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. I've been talking about Tank Davis today. He has a big fight coming up in May, but he also has big issues and big challenges against him or fate that he's facing. Two cases this year he has to deal with. One stemming from a car accident where he, allegedly, which we know it was him driving a Lamborghini drunk, crashed into a vehicle, injuring 4 people, and a domestic dispute where he was caught on video manhandling one of the mother of his children. But when it comes to boxers, Davis isn't in a category of his own as far as having trouble with the law. We all know that Floyd Mayweather went to jail himself. Whether he was guilty or not doesn't matter. I'm just talking about the fact that he went to jail. But there are a lot of other boxers who face the same issue. Now, is Gervontae going to go to jail? I don't know. We don't know. But there's a chance. But there are a lot of boxers who have gone to jail, and I don't think a lot of people remember that because some of these things have happened in the past, and people don't really tend to remember that these are things that have happened before. So I'm going to go over a few of these boxers who have had struggles and who've actually had to go to jail. And it is what it is. So first one is Edwin Valero. I don't know if you guys remember him. He stabbed his wife to death in a hotel room in Venezuela. And then when they put him in jail overnight, he hung himself in the cell. We don't know what madness drove him to destroy himself and those who loved him, but we know that he was on the brink of greatness in the ring. And he was a very exciting fighter, maybe one of the most exciting fighters of his era. And who knows just what other opportunities or what other memories he would have created for everyone had he managed to remain mentally stable and not go down the path he went. Okay, so the next person who's had struggles, which is probably a lot of people's favorite fighter, is Diego Corrales. Very similar situation. Shortly following his loss to Mayweather, there's a lot going on. That's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of these boxers, they're not bad people. But could you understand, we talk about PTSD a lot when it comes to veterans, when it comes to people in law enforcement, or people who have grown up in environments or have been exposed to something traumatic, right? But imagine what boxers go through. There has to be a certain, I'm sure it could fall underneath the PTSD umbrella, when guys lose a fight and come out of there, and the society can be hard on you when you lose a fight. Even if you're not losing, just they don't feel like you're performing to your potential. They can be very hard on you. So I can only imagine what Diego Corrales went through when he went home, especially if you happen to have an argument with your wife and your wife has a slick mouth and she says something, well, that's why you lost that fight, or so-and-so kicked your ass or something like that. That could trigger somebody. And that's why it's very important, man, to have the strength to get the hell away from those situations, those kind of people. Even if you're married, just go outside, get away from that environment, because that atmosphere. Because once it sets a person off like that, there's probably no turning back, But anyway, with Diego Corrales, man, he was charged with abusing his pregnant wife, and he served 14 months behind bars. And, it's very unfortunate, but, he died not too far after that in a motorcycle accident. Then Dwight Muhammad Kawi, he was raised in Camden, New Jersey, and convicted of armed robbery and sentenced to 5 years in prison. And then he came out of that and ended up turning professional. But, there's some things that happen, before the military, before their boxing career starts. Some things happen during their boxing career, and some things happen after. But these are guys who've gone to prison. We all know Mike Tyson's story. Now, I will say this, I think he was innocent. I think he's done things in the past where he may have taken advantage of females, but in this particular case where he went to jail for, he was innocent. Yeah, I think he was innocent. I'm not even going to get into that. You guys can have your own opinions on it. But anyway, we all know he's convicted of raping this 18-year-old beauty pageant queen, which is all bullshit. But, Mike Tyson has gone to jail. And, he spent a lot of time there. When he came out, he wasn't the same. He was in his prime years, and he lost a lot of those years. Davis is in his prime. If he goes to jail for Not even a year will hurt him. But if he goes to jail for what he's facing, 7 years, not good. Not good. Sonny Liston, if you guys don't know the story with him, man, Sonny Liston was just always a thug. He was arrested at least 19 times for crimes ranging from robbery and assaulting police officers back in the day. But he ended up getting killed. Bernard Hopkins, you guys don't know, his boxing and everything started. Before he went to jail, he ended up going to jail. He did 18 years there, man, and he came out of jail, man. He never turned back. He came out of jail. They took what he learned while he was in prison. Actually, was in prison, man. I think there's a designation as like a champion or something like that. He won that, and Bernard Hopkins came out and never turned back, man. And he's a great person to listen to. He's even become even more articulate over the last like 10 or 15 years being a representative and face of Golden Boy. I think sometimes when you have to do a lot of public speaking, it helps you with being able to articulate your thoughts and to speak in a very eloquent manner. And he's getting there. But Bernard Hopkins has went to jail before he actually became a professional boxer. And there's a couple other guys. Pernell Whitaker, if you guys don't know, man, Pernell Whitaker struggled with substance abuse. He was carrying cocaine into a Virginia Beach courthouse, and he ended up pleading guilty to felony possession of cocaine, and he got himself thrown in a joint. And then they got I'm not even gonna get into this guy, but you got Jack Johnson, but I'm not gonna get into all that, man, all that shit that happened back in his day. But what I'm saying is, then you have Adrian Broner now. Look at the in and out of jail. But Adrian Broner has had to pay a lot of money to people to avoid facing significant jail time. He's had to do that. Oscar De La Hoya has dodged several bullets because these guys have the money to avoid jail time. It's sad, but what's so critical here with Gervontae Davis is he didn't take a plea deal. You see, when guys don't take a plea deal, man, it's dangerous. There's no longer a plea deal, do a 6-month suspended sentence or whatever it is. He's going in there saying like, hey, I'm innocent, and that's just I just think that has a recipe for disaster on it. But we'll see what comes out of it. But Gervontae Davis isn't the only guy to deal with have legal troubles. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's actually a kid who was making mistakes back then, who's figured out what he needs to do going forward. He's made the necessary refinements in his life, and he's not going to make those mistakes again. So I hope he gets a second chance. He gets through his first court case in May, the second one in September. Hope he doesn't have to face jail time, maybe probation, something like that. I think that'd be good for him because it makes you realize that you don't want to deal with that anymore. I don't think he needs a jail cell. But let me know your 2 cents on it. Leave the comments below, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. But as always, man, shout out to all the veterans, and I'm in the breeze.